Hi, this is Tanya from Love Buddha Tarot, back with the daily forecast for the 29th of August 2017. How are you all doing? Did you have a good weekend? It's been a bank holiday weekend here, so it's been a little bit later. We've had a little bit extra break. I have been working hard to get all of the email readings out. They will be out this week. I know I said that last week, but I'm sorry, they were just inundated. And as of now, I will not be taking any more email readings on for a good long while. Okay, so please don't try and book for an email reading because I will not be doing them. They're taking far too much time, and I just haven't got it at the moment. I'm really having to try and sort of organise things. Okay, so if you're waiting on them, bear in mind as well that email readings take 15 working days. That is the time at the moment. You know, I did have a little blip with the computers, so you know, people are writing saying, yeah, I ordered an email reading, but when you work it out, you know, it's 15 working days, okay, that they have been taken, so they're not really over. Okay. And the messages today are it's a very poignant message, I think. It's so bear with me because I don't know where this will actually go. It's highlighting something that I wasn't going to talk about, but it's highlighting it, so I have to. I haven't done the weeklies this week. I will be doing an hour-long one with all of the star signs together, just to try and get something out, because, like I say, you know, time has been pretty precious. But I've been getting quite a lot of messages from Spirit talking about resetting and recalibrating, okay, seeing where it is you are on your path. Have you detoured off course, you know, or not? A lot of people have been finding this sort of solar eclipse season and the Mercury retrograde very, very uncomfortable, myself included. Okay, it has been, I've never known anything like this. The reason being is because I realised that I've detoured so far off my path. Okay, so this is it. If we are feeling uncomfortableness in any way, it is because we are not sort of in true alignment. Okay, so it's like I say, it's been a big lesson to me as well. You know, I'm only human, and you know, I like to share this with you as well, because you know, I think a lot of people think that I have my life completely sorted and everything, and I don't. Okay, I don't. But like I say, Spirit always come and slap me in the face with the truth. So the cards today, and I do want to say as well, if you are watching this video and it is not under the name of Tanya Love Buddha, then this video shouldn't be on the channel that you're watching it. Okay, like I say, somebody has been taking my videos, putting them on another channel, and that is just not cool. It's theft. Okay, so if you're watching this video, underneath it should say Tanya Love Buddha Tarot. If it doesn't, could you please report it to YouTube? Okay. So right, getting back to the cards there. The card that we have to start off with is the High Priestess. Now, the High Priestess is all about intuition. The High Priestess knows, and she knows with all of her being. She's never gone to school to learn it or anything like that, like the Hierophant. She hasn't studied it. She has this inner knowing, you know. Very, very psychic card. It's like she's known from birth or before birth, you know, what everything is about. And this is saying here with the High Priestess, the way she's coming in today, if we have a look, it's like, you know, she's staring at you, but she's not staring in a nice way. It's like looking as if she can see through the bullshit. Okay, this is what I've had over the last couple of days. It's sort of Spirit saying to me, yeah, come on, tell me whatever you want, we know the truth. Okay, so this is it. It's like, you know, when your mum looks at you when you're a kid and you've done something wrong, and you know, she always knows, doesn't she? You know, my daughter used to say that to her friends. Her friends were like, how do parents always know? And she said, yeah, you know, think yourself lucky. My mum isn't just a mum, she's psychic as well, so she could never get away with anything. But within the High Priestess, she has been transformed through this secret knowledge that she has, okay? And this can often draw people to her. People want to be around her because they want that knowledge as well, you know? Because she is the revealer of secrets. She will reveal things to them. This is what the High Priestess does, you know? She reveals the truth to them, the spiritual truth as well, you know? And like I say, at times she will take no prisoners. She is, I don't know, as I've said, she cuts through the bullshit. And this is quite funny because often I get messages off people, you know, and they're shrouded in illusion. Okay, that's the only way I can say it. And they think that I'm not going to see past that. And it's like, come on, you know what I do for a job. It's like, I can see bullshit. I can smell bullshit from a mile off, and I can also see truth from a mile off as well, and this is what happens with the High Priestess. So when the High Priestess comes in, she is here to say to you, right, okay, you have got a chance again. You have got a chance to be reborn. You have got a chance to step into your authenticity again, that you have actually stepped out of that authentic suit. You've detoured out of it for some reason. And what happens when we sort of come off our spiritual path or our destined path is we can actually pick up a lot of psychic debris on the way. This can be by people that we're around. This can be situations that we encounter or whatever. We can pick it up and it clings to us. It's, like, say if somebody smokes and you don't smoke, but you're sitting around them, the next day when you go to get your jacket or your jumper, you can smell the smoke on it. This happens, with sort of human bullshit as well. It can attach itself to you. And sometimes you can get swamped in it and then it becomes a normality. And this is what it's talking about, because it's saying that the spirituality that comes with the High Priestess is much, much deeper than just dogma. It's much, much deeper than just rules to live by as well, But the High Priestess understands her position in today's society. Now, I was reading something the other day that tarot is now trendy, okay? All of these young'uns are sort of playing with tarot. I even seen a child's toy, which was a Ouija board, a pink Ouija board, for a child. Now, I'm all for letting live, but what people don't understand with this type of work, with tarot, with Ouija, with anything of the occult. Now, the occult is not dark arts. People think the occult is dark arts. It's not. The occult is just like sort of the unknown, like hidden secrets. But when you start messing with stuff like this, you need to be protected. Everybody thinks, oh yeah, great, tarot cards, I can do this, and it's a showmanship. It's not at all. These things need to be treasured, they need to be valued, and they need to be respected, okay? Spirit is a beautiful, beautiful thing, but there are lower vibrational spirits around as well. And with things like this, when the care isn't taken, when the respect and when the gratitude isn't given, for the messages and for the gifts that we are given from Spirit, it can attract sort of lower vibrational things, okay? So, like I say, the fact that it's now trendy actually worries me a little bit, and this is what it's saying. The High Priestess is, she knows her place in today's society. There's so many people seeking out this secret knowledge, but they're seeking it out as some sort of fortune-telling thing, This isn't what tarot is about. Tarot is about empowering us in ourselves, So this is quite important, I feel, the way this is coming in today as well. The tarot will never deceive you, okay? The tarot, it won't. But you can misread it, okay? So this is why, people will get a tarot deck and within a week they're saying they're a reader. And that is great, because this is how you learn. But, like I say, we can often misunderstand the tarot. The tarot is never wrong. Spirit are never wrong, but our interpretation of it can be at times. And also our interpretation of spirituality as well. I'm sorry, I'm really going off on one, but this is where they're taking me here. So, like I say, sometimes the High Priestess will not give you all of the answers. She won't reveal all of the truth because she knows that you're not ready for it. This isn't like a quick fix course to spirituality that you can do and then suddenly you get your certificate. There shouldn't be certificates within this, You study and you study and you study, and it is a lifelong learning. Like I say, I've had a huge lesson this weekend, and I've been doing this a lot of years. But this weekend, I got like sort of smacked down, and it was like, right, back to the bottom again, straight down that snake. When I thought I was going up the ladder, straight down that snake. And this is what spirituality calls for, humility, okay? So always humility. You never know it all, never, ever. And the second you think that you do, that is when you will have the rug pulled from under your feet. So within within the High Priestess here today, it's talking about, you know, these two pillars that she stands behind, and it's the dark and the light. And there is the duality. We need the two of them. Now, I would never say to somebody practice the dark arts or anything like that, just because of the dealings that I have had with that. And, you know, that is, luckily I knew how to protect myself. But, you know, there is, if we've got this much light, there is that much dark there as well. And it's bringing it in and realizing that the two can work in unison, but that they are more powerful than what we are. You know, it's the duality of it. And this is saying, you know, trust your intuition, go into your intuition. Do not have anything around you that will taint your intuition or will muffle the sound of spirit. Okay? This is why I never ever read when I around alcohol. I won't if I'm drinking it or if anybody else is drinking it. A lot of people want me to go out and do house parties because it's like, yeah, come on, we'll have a fortune teller. That is not the way I work, you know. And like I say, you know, the vibration there is very low. So, you know, if you are looking at tarot or teaching tarot or things like that, you know, please be aware of, you know, the energy and stuff like that as well. Because what this is saying, the High Priestess today is saying, step away from any complications. Anything that is complicated, okay, is meaning that it's not on your path or you are not treating it in the right way as well. The High Priestess is not about riches, you know, or status. She doesn't put on this act. It's not like, look at me, look at how enlightened I am. She's not that at all. She is the complete opposite. The High Priestess wants to give you peace and tranquility. And this is what a spiritual life should do. It's not about knowing all of the answers and not having any problems, but it's about being able to see them as part of your growth. Colette Baron-Reid, who is an absolutely amazing, beautiful teacher, she speaks about being an observer. She says our small self, our ego is in it. You know, whatever is going on, our ego is in it. And it's like, all right, this is happening to me, and what do I do, and what do I do, and blah, 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 and he said this, and she said that, and blah, blah, and that. Our soul self is the observer who sits and watches it and goes, all right, that's interesting. You know, that's good. What is coming up here? You know, what is it? It doesn't get itself worked up with it. It doesn't get itself into a state of confusion or discombobulation, you know, because it is the soul self. It knows, and it is just the observer of what is going on in your life. So this is saying, look at areas today, you know, you may have to reset your goals. You may have to rethink where you've been, because it's saying, you know, don't dismiss this inner voice within you. Don't dismiss your intuition, and don't be passive as well. Because if you are passive and if you turn this off or turn the sound down of your inner voice, you may miss the life that you were meant to live, you know. This card as well, this is also today talking about the dangers of traditional religions. And this is what I didn't want to talk about, but it's, you know, they want me to. You know, there's all this new age stuff. Which is fantastic, and it's great, and it's really, I love it because it is educating people, and people are wanting, they're looking for something, they're wanting something new, okay? But a lot of these new age traditions are still linked with the old traditional ones, which have control. And no religion should have control, no spirituality should have control. I remember there was... I once went to join this meditation group, and they said to me, oh, you've got to stop eating meat, you've got to stop smoking, and you've got to stop drinking alcohol. And I was like, this is not the group for me. You know, if I wanted to do that, because the more I get into my spirituality, when I'm on a spiritual sort of boot camp with myself, I then tend not to do them things anyway, you know, because I'm working from a pure base. But for somebody to tell me that I couldn't do that in order to join that group, I found was very wrong. And this is what happens with a lot of traditional religions. There are rules, you know, that you need to adhere to. Otherwise you are seen as a sinner, a bad person, not as enlightened, blah, 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 and all of that bullshit. That is not true. You know, so when... There's been a lot about a well-known spiritual teacher at the moment. A lot of people have been talking about it, Doreen Virtue, and, you know, Doreen Virtue is well respected, you know, and I do feel she is a very educated, you know, knowledgeable woman. But she is now denounced. First of all, she denounced the Ascended Masters deck that she actually put out. And now she's denouncing all tarot and all mediums. Which, you know, this is what this person for years and years and years has taught and practiced. And a lot of people have followed her teachings because of this. You know, and now to denounce that, that's leaving people a little bit like, what is going on? What I want to say with that is her path. You know, I had exactly the same years ago with one of my teachers. I went and I learned from her interfaith. It was an interfaith development group, you know, and it was fabulous. And I learned so much. I learned a lot of my knowledge came from this teacher. And then suddenly she had this bang, and suddenly it was all religious, and it was, you know, it was all about, you know, Jesus Christ, and this was it. And if you didn't do that, then you were denounced, and, you know, and you were seen as evil in some way, you know. And that was her path. That was what she was going on, and that was the message she got, and that is fine. But I've also seen people go down this path and then come back round again. Okay? So I just want to say with this is they say that religion is for people who are scared of going to hell. Spirituality or for those that have been there. Okay? So if you are suddenly feeling bad that you are not spiritually enlightened because you are doing the tarot, or you are watching tarot, or somebody has now said that you are wrong for doing that, and that is evil. Tarot is not evil, okay? Tarot comes with an intent. Tarot is spirit, and spirit are not evil, you know. Spirit are there to help you. And just because somebody is on their path and they say something different, and they are then led to believe something different, that does not mean that you have to follow suit. Okay, it doesn't. You do what feels right for you. Okay, this is what this is all about, and I feel this is what this reading is about as well. You know, so everybody's on their own path. Everybody has their own journey and lessons and things like that, okay? But if you feel that you need to be controlled or you can't be your true self, it's like, you know how many people wear mala beads around their wrist, they wear yoga patterns, you know, they have dreadlocks in their hair, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm totally spiritual, and that's absolutely bollocks. You know, I met some people like that when I was over in Ibiza, and it was, they looked the part, but, you know, within seconds of meeting them, the bullshit was there. You know, it was the bullshit. And it's like, yeah, you can read as many books as you want and you can know all of the spiritual words, but unless you practice it, you know, and unless you actually are the person that you, on the outside, you know, the role that you're stepping into, if you're not that, then, you know, you might as well be, you know, wearing a swastika or something like that. You know, it's not about how you dress that makes you a spiritual being. Okay, it's about how you live your life and how you actually serve and how you treat other people as well. Okay, and authenticity is key to be able to live a spiritual life. Okay, you do not look down on anybody else, and you do not really raise anybody else neither. You know that nobody is better and nobody that is worse. Each is living their own path. Okay, so I hope that makes sense with that card, because there's a lot coming through with this. And then the Osho Zen Tarot card we have is Laziness. And this is quite interesting coming in with this, because this is saying don't get too complacent on your journey, you know, because it's not over yet. You know, you can never just sit back and think, right, I know it now. Do you know what I mean? I'm enlightened. This is it. You know, I'm going to sail through life. You're not. The second you say that, this is when you will get, you know, them sails. Is when the stormy waters will come. And when you don't appreciate what you have, when you don't have gratitude, and when you don't, you know, sort of really take peace in what you have learned, you know, and actually sort of, no matter what you are going through, have gratitude for this, you are more inclined to lose it. So if you look at the figure in that card, you know, he's sitting back, he's relaxing, he's got his drink there, he's like, yeah, I've made it, you know. A lot of people have made a lot of money through spirituality and stuff like that, but you kind of get complacent with it, you know. He thinks he's made it, but he has his sunglasses on, so he's not seeing the full, his truth is blinded here. He's not seeing the bigger picture, because if he took them sunglasses off and if he checked into his intuition, he would see that these the cracks are starting to appear in what is holding him up. He's done a lot of work to get him where he is, to this state of, right, okay, look, I'm successful, I'm whatever. But he could lose it just as quick. You know, he can't stop now. You don't stop. You don't stop learning. You don't stop giving. You don't stop gratitude. Okay? Because things can just disappear like that. So this is saying, yes, you may have sort of accomplished a lot and, you know, and got through stuff, and you might deserve a little rest, but not forever, you know. Everything in life needs nurture. This is relationships, this is work, this is study, this is yourself, this is other people around you. You need to be putting the work in all of the time with that. You know, you need to be ahead of your game because you need to be aware of what is coming next. And none of us know what is, you know. So this is saying, remember gratitude, practice gratitude at all times. You know, often we yearn for something, and then when we get it, we then take it for granted, you know, and that is not good. You know, we need to appreciate it every single day, even if we've had it for 10 years, 15 years or whatever. We still need to take that appreciation every single day for what we have. Gratitude should be a daily ritual for us, as should meditation. You know, I've been that busy that I have stopped my spiritual practice, my daily practice. And I didn't realize until this weekend how much that has actually affected me, you know. So I've spent a few days in stillness with spirit, with myself, you know, observing, not beating myself up, not giving myself a hard time, you know, observing where I've gone off path, where my ego has crept in and said, right, okay, there's an opening, you know, we're going to take over Tanya, sort of thing. I've also looked at a lot of spiritual people in the sort of, I don't know, people, my social media, things like that, you know, and I've also looked and thought, are they really living their truth, you know, and this is it. And we constantly need to check in to make sure we are living our truth and we are not detouring, okay? So it's like, if I am not living in my truth fully, how can I sort of guide you to live in your truth? And that's the way that I see it. So I need to practice what I preach. Okay, that's it. That is the sign of a good spiritual teacher, I feel, to practice what you preach, you know. And it is so important. It is so important, you know. It's not just being that person when the camera goes on and, you know, sending a couple of nice memes around, you know, yeah, love and light and shit like that, you know. It's not about that. It's about practicing it in your daily life, you know, and being authentic as well. So this is saying, when you are grateful for something, you know, you will get more of it. You know, this is how the universe works. And happiness does not bring gratitude, but gratitude brings happiness, you know. So this is it. We often look for the answers in the wrong places. So it's just, be careful, yeah. Look around you. Are the foundations that you have built, are they solid? Okay? Or are there cracks already starting to show that you just haven't wanted to see because you're sitting there in this complacency? This could be around relationships, it could be around life, it could be around whatever. Sorry. Right, and then I've used the Oracles of Vision card. I really love the artwork within this. This is quite interesting. Look at that. It's so beautiful. And it's like these people are being sort of manipulated and controlled. And when I looked at that, although it's a beautiful card, I sort of got like Freddy Krueger like when I looked at the fingers. And it's saying that life is not a cabaret, you know. Life is, you know, it's not a play, you know. It's not a performance where you choose your role in it, you know. And we are manipulated on a daily basis, and often we are manipulating as well, you know. And everybody says, no, that's not me. But it's like, you know, if you have a look at what ego creeps in, and we can have manipulating behaviour as well. We can create artificial scenarios, you know, or we can have planned outcomes as well that we want, you know, and we can transform into something that it's not, and we can transform ourselves into something that we aren't, okay, in order to fit in order to be liked, in order to be loved, in order to be seen as greater than we are. In order to fit in, you know. And none of us were born to fit in. We were born to stand out, okay? We were born to be authentic, born to be in our truth, Okay, and if you're not standing in your truth, then you really need to look at reasons why, okay? Some of you don't, I'm sorry, I'm not saying that in a bad way, but some people don't know the truth of who they are because they have fit into all of these different scenarios all of the time, Can you remember the person at school who, 1 week they were a goth, the next week they were sort of trendy, then they were a heavy metaler or whatever, and they didn't know they were trying out all of these roles to see which one got them the most status, and that's what it was. So this is saying, don't lose yourself in the role that you have chosen or a role that has been given to you, neither. Don't allow yourself to be controlled, but don't control either. Okay, this is a two-way street with this, Get in touch with reality, okay? And we're living in a 3D world, It would be so much easier if we're living in a 5D world, but we're not. We're on Earth, we are having a human experience, okay? That is what we're having. But it's checking into spirit all of the time, okay? That is where your truth lies, in your reality, in your authenticity, and with spirit as well, okay? Spirit will not get you wrong. Go into nature. That was what I'd done this weekend. I went into nature. I went in to the woods and I relaxed. And I completely relaxed, and I was hit with floodgates of, whoa, why have I not been feeling like this, And it's because I'd gone off path and I had stopped practicing, okay? Now, practice makes perfect, they're saying there. So you can never stop practicing, Even the best bands in the world, the highest grossing bands, whatever, still have to go to practice. Practice is important, okay? Practice is as important as the being and the doing, okay? We need to practice, So that is quite an interesting card. And don't put on a show, Don't put on a show just to entertain other people, or to be entertained. Don't sit and watch other people going about their things that isn't true, just so it can entertain you. This isn't about life. This isn't what life is about. Life is about connecting to other souls, okay? To learn, to experience, to see the truth in them, even if they can't see the truth in themselves, okay? And trying to educate that, because if you allow somebody to stand in their untruth, you are giving them permission that is okay, and it's not, Everybody will be happier when they are standing in their own truth, and this is how it is. So it's like, just be you. It is safe to be you, okay? We then have the Colette Baron Reid card here, and this is the tribe, but it's in the protection position. And this again is saying, beware of compromising your integrity just in order to belong. Don't dim your light so that you can be accepted of other people, and don't hide yourself and step into a role, because life is not role play, Life is meant for playing, but playing authentically in that sort of, that real you, that childlike you, who doesn't fit into a mold, who doesn't need to be accepted or need to be admired or anything, because it doesn't have to change themselves to get that, because you will get admiration and you will be admired for being true in a very fucking false world. They say to me, like, Tanya, you need to live in the real world. And to me, it is the most fake place that there is. There is fake on a daily basis, and it's everything. It's fake news. It's fake faces, it's, fake spirituality, fake everything, and that is not going to move us further, and it's not going to move you further, Fake is false. That's what it means. And our life and this life and spirit want us to live in truth and live in our truth, and some people don't even know the truth. People lie on a daily basis, and it's like they don't realize that words that come out of their mouth are spells, So why lie? That is not good, because then you can't trust anybody else, because that you're not telling the truth. It's all absolute bollocks, you know. So we need to strip it down, and we need to get down to realness, because realness is where it's at. You know, spirituality, realness is where it's at. It's not fake. You know, you don't have to wear certain clothes. You don't have to, you know, drink certain teas. You don't have to any of that in order to live a true spiritual life. All you need to do is be real and be you, and not hide that from anybody, whether they are going to condemn you or whatever. You know, so be it. You know, that is coming from a place of fear with them. If you come up from a place of love and self-love, and that is when you can be yourself, you know. And that is when you are standing in your truth, because the cost is too high for inauthenticity. You know, the price you will pay for inauthenticity, it will cost you too much as well. Authenticity is true self-expression. Again, it's true self-expression. It's truth, you know, and this is where you will be empowered as well. Not by playing small, not by changing you in order to fit in, not by being molded, by being real, by standing tall, okay, and by living in your truth. And this is what this is saying. And then you will find your tribe. If you feel you can't do this around certain people, then they are not your tribe. Okay, you've wandered off, and you're in the wrong sort of tribe zone, you know, because your real tribe will gravitate to you when you are emitting truth and on this truth vibration and this frequency, you know, because that is the laws of the universe. Whatever you put out, you get back. So if you are living this fake life, you will find you are getting fake people back in it, fake situations, fake drama, you know, all of that. When you are coming from a place of truth, you know, real authentic truth, you will find this is what actually gravitates to you. And you will find that any confusion, any sort of discomfort, discord, anything like that you are feeling will slip away, because then you step back and you just observe the situation rather than being caught up in the middle of it. So I hope that made sense. Sorry, it was I had a feeling it was going to be a heavy one today. So it's like, wow. But yeah, just look at where you have detoured away from your truth, okay? And try to get back on track, because the truth is always there, you know. And it's, you know, the truth isn't always easy, but it will always set you free no matter what, okay? And if, like I say, if people don't admire that, or if people don't respect that, then you really need to look if are they members of your tribe, okay? Because they are out there. It's about finding the others, and this is what I think we're on a mission to do, especially at the moment, okay? But don't allow control, and don't be controlling neither, you know, because that is you know, you're way off course if that is coming into your life, okay? So if sorry, if anybody would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. I think I am fully booked for this week, but there will still be emergency readings. If not, you will have to book in for next week. Like I say, I will not be doing any more email readings after these ones go out. And I'm sorry that you're having to wait for readings now, but that's just the way it goes, you know. And I'm doing as much as I can, but I would love to connect with you. And like I say, you know, readings can bring clarity. The tarot tells the truth, okay? That's it. No matter what anybody else says, the tarot always tells the truth, okay? Might not be what you want to hear, but it'll be what you need to hear, okay? So have an absolutely fabulous day. I hope that's given you a bit of food for thought. It's like my head has been going thinking all the time when they're coming out. But very interesting cards, I think, today. And I think that message was massively needed. Okay. Satnam.